Along the quiet coastline of Willowshore, where the waves sounded like soft whispers and the air always carried a salty breeze, lived a small orange and white cat named Whisker. Known to almost everyone in town, he wandered freely from the bakery to the harbor, greeting fishermen in the morning and curling around children's legs in the evening. His playful spirit made him a favorite among the townspeople. But one freezing winter morning, something was terribly different. Under the old wooden pier, half buried in cold sand and sea mist, Whisker lay motionless. His fur was wet and clumped together, his nose pale, and his breaths were shallow and weak. The storms that had hit Willowshore the previous week had been fierce, winds rattled roofs, rain poured endlessly, and the ocean rose higher than anyone could remember. Whisker had been caught outside during one of those nights, with nowhere warm to go. Now, he was fighting for his life. At sunrise, a young boy named Evan ran along the beach with his mother. As he approached the pier, he stopped suddenly. There was something small and curled beneath the wooden beams. His heart tightened. "Mom, I think that's Whisker." He rushed toward the cat, dropping to his knees. Whisker opened his eyes just barely, letting out a soft sound that was almost a cry. Evan touched the cat gently and felt how cold he was, far colder than any cat should ever be. "Mom, he's freezing. Please, do something." Evan's mother immediately took out her phone and dialed the Willowshore Animal Rescue Team. The number was printed on a signboard near the beach. 24/7 Emergency Animal Help. Within minutes, a bright yellow rescue van rolled onto the sand, and 3 rescuers stepped out, drive. Maya, Tom, and Rena. Their faces shifted from surprise to urgency when they saw the condition of the cat. Tom wrapped Whisker in a warm thermal blanket while Rena checked his breathing. "He's barely holding on," she murmured. "Doctor." Maya knelt beside Evan. "Thank you for calling us quickly. We're going to do everything we can to save him." They carried Whisker into the rescue van and laid him on a small treatment table designed especially for critical cases. Machines hummed, monitors beeped softly, and warm air blew gently to increase his body temperature. "Hypothermia," Maya said. "Severe. And dehydration too. Look at his gums, they're pale. There's some kind of infection." Rena attached a tiny IV line to Whisker's fragile leg, allowing warm fluids to slowly enter his body. Tom carefully dried as much of Whisker's wet fur as possible. Evan watched from outside the van door, trembling with worry. "Is he going to die?" he asked with a breaking voice. Maya placed a hand on his shoulder. "Not if we can help him. He's fighting." Then she added softly, "But he needs time." The van rushed to the rescue clinic, which stood near the lighthouse. As they arrived, the team quickly transferred Whisker into a heated oxygen chamber. His breaths were shallow but steady. Hours passed, but Whisker's condition remained uncertain. The warmth helped, but something inside his lungs made it hard for him to breathe normally. "Doctor." Maya prepared an ultrasound machine and studied the screen with a worried frown. "There's fluid around his lungs," she said. "This is serious." Tom asked, "Can we treat it?" "Yes," she answered, "but it will take time and careful monitoring." They administered medication to reduce inflammation and ease his breathing. Whisker whimpered softly as the treatment continued. His tiny body was exhausted, having fought the storm and cold for days. While the team worked tirelessly, Whisker drifted in and out of consciousness. In his half-dreaming state, he remembered warm days chasing butterflies, the smell of fish at the harbor, and Evan sitting beside him sharing a sandwich while laughing. He remembered feeling free, happy, alive, until the storm. He remembered the freezing rain hitting his fur like needles and the violent wind pushing him into the sand. He remembered trying to find shelter, shivering, coughing, and losing strength. He remembered waiting beneath the pier, hoping someone would come. And finally, someone had. By afternoon, Evan arrived at the clinic carrying a small box of fish biscuits, Whisker's favorite. "Can he eat these?" he asked hopefully. "Not yet," Maya replied gently. "But you can talk to him. That will help." Evan stepped closer to the oxygen chamber and pressed his hand against the glass. "Whisker, I'm here. You're going to be okay. Don't leave us." Whisker opened his eyes slightly, recognizing the voice. His tail twitched weakly, the first sign he had shown all day. Evan smiled with relief. "You remember me, good boy." Night fell quickly. Outside, the sea roared with its usual rhythm, but inside the clinic everything was quiet except for the soft beeping of medical machines. The staff took turns staying awake to monitor Whisker. Just past midnight, Whisker suddenly began breathing irregularly again. Rena immediately alerted Maya, who rushed into the room. "He's crashing," Rena shouted. Maya adjusted the oxygen settings and prepared another injection to open his airways. Tom steadied the oxygen dome as Whisker's body trembled. "Come on, little one," Maya whispered. "Don't give up now." For several tense minutes, Whisker struggled. His breaths came in short bursts, and his paws twitched in fear. The rescuers worked silently but swiftly, each movement precise. Slowly, Whisker's breathing began to stabilize once more. He relaxed, exhausted but still alive. Rena let out a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. That was close. Maya closed her eyes briefly. "He's fighting harder than any animal I've seen." The next morning brought a soft golden light through the clinic windows. Evan arrived early, hopeful but anxious. When Maya met him at the door, she smiled slightly. "He made it through the night," she said. "He's still weak, but he's improving." Evan hugged her with relief. Thank you so much." For the next 2 days, Whisker received round-the-clock care. Warm fluids, medication, gentle cleaning, soft blankets, and hours of monitoring. His breathing improved steadily. The fluid around his lungs decreased. His eyes became brighter. He even tried to sit up, though he was still shaky. On the 4th morning, Evan arrived with a tiny knitted blanket he made with his mother. "It's for Whisker," he said proudly. When they placed it inside the chamber, Whisker sniffed it and curled into it like he knew it was made with love. 2 more days passed, and the miraculous moment finally came. Whisker stood on all 4 paws. Slowly, unsteadily, but standing. Evan gasped. "Mom, he's walking." "Doctor." Maya chuckled warmly. "Yes, he is. He's a strong little guy." By the end of the week, Whisker had regained enough strength to be released from the oxygen chamber. Evan sat beside him as he ate soft food, his tiny tail flicking with renewed life. But there was one last decision to make. "Whisker can't go back to living outside," Maya said kindly. "He needs a home." Evan looked at his mother with hopeful eyes. "Mom, can we take him? Please." His mother smiled softly. "I think he already chose us." Whisker purred and climbed onto Evan's lap, curling into a warm ball just as he once did beneath the sunlit pier, but this time with love, comfort, and safety surrounding him. And so, Whisker went home. No longer a stray, no longer alone, a cat who survived the storm. Because an entire town refused to let him die. A cat who found a family. Because one little boy cared enough to save him. And Whisker, once cold and forgotten under the pier, now slept every night on a warm bed, in a warm home, with warm hearts. His last hope became a new beginning.